Hello everyone. In this topic we will going to discuss the US President Joe Biden's remarks on Pakistan. Because the words the president chose to describe the India's western neighbor has created shockwave across the Pakistani political structure irrespective of any political party. We all know that the US midterm election campaign is going on right now, and the President of the United States is in campaigning mode now. That's why US President Joe Biden is in Los Angeles right now. In Los Angeles, while speaking at the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee reception, he described Pakistan as one of the most dangerous nations which holds nuclear weapons without any cohesion. Cohesion generally means the situation when the members of a group or society are united. But in this case, the President Biden chose a word without before cohesion, and he picked this word deliberately. Because the world know that there are multiple power structures within the Pakistani political and defense structure. Pakistan call themselves as democratic nation, but reality is totally opposite because in Pakistan voting is just an exercise to fool the world. In reality, the Prime Minister of Pakistan always been chosen by the head of the army, and the army changed the Prime Minister of Pakistan on the basis of their comfortability. Otherwise, you didn't see the 18 Prime Minister in their 75 years of brief history. Army has been given excessive power through the fake or sham Pakistani constitution. I would like to give you an example to prove my words. I hope all of you know about Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and Ziaul Haq. In 1979, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was constitutionally murdered by the dictator General Ziaul Haq. Let's give you some information about Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. Because he was the very popular leader in Pakistan. He was popularly known as Qaid-e-Azam, that means people's leader. He was the 4th president from 1971 to 1973 and later as 9th Prime Minister of Pakistan from 1973 to 1977. Anyway, let's get back to our discussion. I would like to tell you how Pakistan built their nuclear bomb. A country couldn't build a car but built a nuclear bomb. A country couldn't produce quality engineers or doctors but built a nuclear bomb. But how? Isn't it suspicious? Yes, it is suspicious. Because Pakistan was made nuclear nations to counter India in Indian Ocean region by influential superpower of all time and another one who is now economical superpower. But the question is why they wanted to counter India in the Indian Ocean region. Because at that time India was a reliable defense and the economical partner of Soviet Union. They wanted to counter India at any cost, and because of that they ignored all future threat without any viable calculations. And because of that, they provided technical expertise to the Pakistan, and they also trained their professional nuclear scientists. You might have noticed that I am mentioning they. Here they means those who were responsible for Pakistani nuclear program. Here also they means specifically the United States and the other European nations, especially the United Kingdom. But the money was not provided by the Western countries. It was provided by Saudi Arabia and Libya. Lots of money was provided during that time in the name of regional security and the peace in the region. To make the nuclear bomb, most of the hardware were imported from European countries and uranium from Niger. Anyway, the USA ignored every possible risk to repent in today's time. Biden is basically repenting because their country made a fool out of the world, and they provided all advanced nuclear technology to the terrorist state Pakistan. As the world know that the Pakistan harbor terrorism and produce terrorists to hedge their bet regarding the nuclear technology and in the name of protection of nuclear weapons from India. They scared the shit out of the world when they said there is a possibility of nuclear arsenal to go into the hand of any terrorist organization. And they use this excuse to exploit the world for the foreign currency. They have been doing it for the 75 years. And after 75 years, US President realized that Pakistan is a dangerous country with nuclear weapon. They should have understood this fact before handing over such a delicate technology to a terrorist state. Because Pakistan used this nuclear bomb to threaten India and Israel, especially India. They always suspicious about Indian movement. They always went to the different world forum to talk about the Indian nuclear program, but they never mentioned their own nuclear threat against India. Pakistan always used the nuclear word to threat India, and this terrorist state used the nuclear threat several times in 2 decades. After 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War, in which Pakistan faced humiliating defeat, after that they tried to bleed India by 1,000 cuts. In that policy, they sent infiltrators in the Kashmir and they created separatism in the Kashmir in the name of Kashmir liberation. Then to intimidate Pakistan, India mobilized its army in 1987 under General K. Sundarji for the wire games Operation Brass Tracks in the Rajasthan desert. The wire game conducted from November 1986 to March 1987. In return, Pakistan Army and Air Force mobilized their force under President Ziaul Haq, and they threatened India to use the nuclear bomb if Indian army dared to cross the Pakistani border. The second time India was subjected to the nuclear blackmail when the Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto sent her Foreign Minister Lieutenant General Shahbaz Yaqub Khan to India on January 21, 1990 to pressurize New Delhi on Kashmir issue. The third and the fourth nuclear blackmail was used during the time of Indian Parliament attack and Kargil war. Indian Parliament attack was one of the most cowardly act ever performed by any puny nation. By the way, Indian political leaders were ready to attack Pakistan at that time, but the war was never broke out due to the heavy lobbying by the US and the European nations in the favor of the Pakistan at that time. And in recent time, the nuclear blackmail has been made international by the former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan. And he and his country lost their mind when Indian Parliament revoked the Article 370 and Article 35A from Kashmir and made Kashmir mainstream by putting it under the Indian constitutional umbrella. The Imran Khan lectured India and the world about the nuclear bomb and nuclear Armageddon during his speech in the United Nations. By the way, at that time, the Imran Khan's illiterate minister, Mr. Sheikh Rashid, threatened India with nuclear war. The illiterate religious fanatic minister claimed that his country possesses 125 to 150 grams of atom bombs which may hit the targeted area in India. He also said that they possesses the nuclear bomb that will going to spare the Indian Muslim. That is hilarious and funny. Pakistan is a funny nation, and this country is full of religious fanatics. They do not believe in books. They only believe in religion blindly without questioning anything scientifically. By the way, in that speech, President Biden also mentioned the other two countries and their leaders. These countries are China and Russia, and their respective leaders Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin. He said Xi Jinping is a very ambitious person and he wants to achieve the things quickly, but he cannot do the things properly and quickly because there are tons of problems that have to be taken care of first. And he is seriously concerned about the Putin's ambitions about Europe. Basically, he is perplexed to see the Putin's war machines that he is using against Ukraine. Literally, the Ukraine war turned into war between Russia and NATO. And NATO is losing this war decisively after gaining some ground. By the way, President Biden's comments has been taken seriously by all political leaders in Pakistan. Every political leader has been responded after Biden's comment, but Imran Khan responded aggressively. He has recently been spooked most because he has been removed by the Pakistani army before his 5-year terms being a Prime Minister of Pakistan. He already blamed the United States because of his removal. He is terming his removal as an US conspiracy. Anyway, he marked this comment as a failure of recent Shahbaz Sharif government. He also blamed the Pakistani Foreign Minister Mr. Bilwal Bhutto Zardari. He also blamed the United States to create the war in every part of the world, and indirectly blamed the United States for their use of nuclear bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So he is really frustrated about the recent comment made by the Biden administration and the Biden himself. To counter the Biden's comment, Pakistan summoned US ambassador in Pakistan, and they brought the issue of the misfire of BrahMos missile which hit the Pakistan's Mia Chanu. Anyhow, if you ask me the same questions whether Pakistan is the most dangerous state or not, my answer is straight yes, because Pakistan is a terrorist state, and being a terrorist state, they should not have a nuclear weapon. And for the United States, I have some advices. Do not repent when the things are out of your hand. Do not repent when you already fired the bullet. Do not repent when you cannot mend your mistake. So before making any wrongdoings, only to keep yourself alive, you have to think first, because you are the part of the world. You cannot escape this truth. You might not live to see the nuclear war, but the young Americans will suffocate to death because of your deliberate mistake, knowing that it will going to bite you back. So formulate your foreign policy according to the interest of everyone. Do not think about yourself only. Think about everyone. Then you will survive, and all of us will survive. Now about today's questions. The first question is, which nation hosted the 6th Summit of Conference on Interaction and Confidence Building Measures in Asia? Acronym is SICA. The first option is Egypt, second option is Iran, third option is Kazakhstan, fourth option is Iraq. Now the second question. The second question is, World Standards Day is being observed on which date? The first option is October 25, second option is October 12, third option is October 19, fourth option is October 14. So this is the end of the topic. If you have any questions or any other kinds of inquiry, then please mail me to my email address, which is tuhin.power.academy@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Thank you for your support. I hope you will going to find my topic informative.